Water is the source of life on Earth. Every human being needs water to live. It is essential to our survival. But it also brings dangers with it. In this video, we will talk about one of these, the flood. How do floods arise? Melting snow and ice, long and continuous rain, or even short and heavy rain causes the groundwater storage to fill up. When the water table rises and the soil is saturated, new rainfall cannot infiltrate anymore. Like this, water can't flow inside of the ground and collects above. Surface runoff becomes faster. How much liquid the ground can store before the water overflows is dependent on the type of ground. Sandy soil allows the water to flow through more easily. Clay-based soil prevents water flow. Additionally, a river can fill up through heavy rain, causing it to overflow. Areas that are below the water surface have a chance to be flooded. The risk of floods increased over the past centuries because of humans covering the ground with buildings, preventing water to infiltrate into the ground. Also, humans redirected rivers, which sometimes results in the river flowing faster. Moreover, natural floodplains along rivers were covered into living space or industrial areas.
Are there ways to prevent the flood? Yes and no, because the flood is not completely predictable and you cannot stop so much water. However, there are warning systems that indicate the level of the water. As cities become larger and larger, the area where water naturally enters the ground is becoming more and more rare. Therefore, surface runoff becomes more and floods are more likely to occur. Along the river, where the water level can rise quickly, there are dams that protect cities, since they can keep the water out up to a certain height. Pumping systems are installed in some places in the dams too. These pump the water into tanks like this one. There is no room for a dam in Cologne, so the longest underground car park in Europe is used as a tank. The 1.5 kilometer long underground garage is flooded at a water level of 11.30 meters. Before that, all 1,500 cars must leave the garage at a water level of 9.30 meters. There are many dams on the Ruhr River. To prevent them from breaking during floods, they overflow, as you can see in this picture. Also, ships are not allowed to sail along the river when the water level is above 8.30 meters to save dams from being damaged by waves. But why are there so many measures to prevent a flood? Because the consequences can be very serious. In the worst case scenario, a flood might cause many dead or injured people, starvation or risk of an epidemic. However, this is very unusual in the Rhine and Ruhr regions. Still, there is a reason for the actions against the flood. For example, high costs can result from damage to buildings, agriculture or logistics.
The latest flooding of the River Rhine and Ruhr was caused by heavy rain. The average depth of the Ruhr and Rhine is about 2.5 meters. The average height of the water during the flood was 6 to 8 meters. In this graph you can see the rise and decline of the water levels in Cologne. Heavy rain in late January caused the River Rhine to fill up, causing a rise in the water level. This roughly started on the 28th of January. A heavy blizzard in February caused the water levels to rise even further. These high water levels stayed until the 9th of February, after which the water levels declined. In this next graph, you are able to see the decline in more detail and the predicted water levels for the following days. As predicted, these water levels occurred a few days later.
The last flood caused that some people in Rees at the Rhine couldn't leave their homes for a few days. Luckily, nobody was seriously injured or died. When the water rises, wood floats up from the bottom and is moved to one spot. When the water sinks, it remains as in this picture.